The end of Season 13 is close and you want to find the best junglers to reach Gold, Diamond, and Master Tier, that final push, and you would probably like to play something that you can spam that does not require hundreds of hours of practice tool. And so in this video I will be explaining the best carry junglers to reach your dreams by the end of Season 13, and you don't need to worry about a high learning curve, just plug and play, use these champions, go get that LP. It also means that these champions have staying power, so if you pick them in Silver, you can keep playing them all the way up to Master Tier. If you pick them in Platinum, you can play them all the way up to Master Tier as well. However, those of the higher ranks might not work in low down, and so we will start off with two general options that do work for every single rank. First up is Kayn. He's rule breaking, he's got two forms, he's a little bit obnoxious for most people, and now he's got airy technology as well. Along with a multitude of rune sets that you can go, the base form is stronger than people think. You can do a lot of different routes in terms of your cheese wrapped as red invades, your red side quadrants into ganks, your full clears. The champion is nothing but dynamic. You use the itemization on your screen now and understand that you simply have to play balanced jungling. You need to gank, you need to farm, you need to counter jungle, you need objectives, and then once you've got form, you need to take over. But while there are subtle tips and tricks you can learn them while playing. It's mostly important that you understand you're not AFK farm and you're not over ganking. The champion really does reward those players who understand team compositions, win conditions. When do you go Shadow Assassin? When do you go Rast? As obviously you go up into the higher echelons of play, the Eclipse on Rast makes more sense than Gordrick in terms of snowballing, power spikes, and because your positioning is getting better, you can be rewarded with more damage. But Gordrick really does work all the time. If you're looking for an assassin that can also become a deep diving bruiser that has a pretty nifty and good early game for fast rotations with that E for hyperscaling on your forms, this is the jungler that you should play. Don't forget, if you want to understand the best builds as these champions go forward into Season 13 as well as track your LP progress, Mobalytics is the way to go. And when you combine that with using the best items and builds, using Mobalytics' new itemization feature with the best data, it's faster, it's more accurate, and while most sites just assess the items individually, Mobalytics now assesses them as part of a build, so it's way more accurate and reflective of how good they are. You can't just show a third item and say look at the win rate when you have no idea what the first two items were. All of this updated and pushed live to the companion app where you can put it directly into your client, along with all of the pre-game tips, post-game tips, as well as in-game tips. So if you want to dominate on the best junglers in the best way with all of the best information and keep up to date with all of the new itemization changes as the meta develops, click the link in the description below to download Mobalytics today. And the second champ that's great for every single MMR is going to be Briar. Now Riot have said things like she's got a high skill expression. I don't really agree whatsoever on that, and I don't think she's very difficult to pick up. That's why you're seeing first time players pick her up and get 20 kills when they understand a similar class type. What you do need to know is that she has two builds, Lethality and Fighter. Obviously they are trying to nerf the Lethality Assassin builds because it's a little obnoxious, but despite the fact that they keep nerfing the bonus AD ratio on her ultimate, it's really just about the raw kit. W puts you on rails, Q is a point and click that stuns somebody. Basically you've got your E to cancel that W frenzy, you press your W again for extra damage and extra heals, your armor penetration on your Q as well as a huge heal and disengage button on your E, and then obviously the flying saucer which sends you across the map into the clutching arms of the enemy team. And if you're playing the proper build, the fighter build, you don't die. You sustain and you thrive. If you're lethality and you hit someone across the map that you don't want to go in on, you will die because you're squishy. It does reward hyperactive jungling, you're not looking to farm that much. You can full clear, you do full clear, but 3 quadrants into action invades ganks, you're looking to fight. Looking to use her early damage and snowball capability to its utmost advantage. Most of you don't do that, so do that and win. Don't need to worry too much about the skill expression, just focus on the fact that the champion is a simple kid, understand how to use your W without killing yourself, use that E to disengage it, know when to time it. It won't take more than a few games to really get to grips with it, and please go Fighter as a default, don't go Lethality, learn the proper way, don't be killed, and just kill everybody because you can't be killed, you understand? And for low elo, we are gonna start off with Ramuz. That's because when you've got Kayn's running around, you've got Briar's running around, you've got Nocturne's running around, what better champion in the world than Ramuz to stop them, to counter them? And guess what? He really does do that. But what he also provides is a window into the win condition element. Understand who to peel, who to engage upon, and how to use your rotating speed of doom to get around the map faster than enemy junglers. Most low elo junglers farm way too much. Most low elo junglers are terrible at ganking. Simply master your ganking, master a basic clear type, build the good old-fashioned Rammus build of self-destruction, for the enemy ADC when they try and kill you, and honestly, you're gonna have a really easy time getting to gold applying this properly. Following him, we have the Nocturne. I do think Nocturne's the best, I just wanted to talk about Rammus first. Nocturne is providing a certain strong fighting capability. He is a fighter, obviously, and yes, you can also build him Assassin, please don't. But the Strikebreaker Black Cleaver build, that's the best. You can go Shojin third if you want, and in fact as a default you could recommend it, but for Diamond Plus, for Master Plus, take this champion and put a Guardian Angel there third. End the game quickly. That's the idea, right? The BF Sword is a huge spike. You're using full clear tempo, ganking, Scuttle Crabs, counter jungling, get level 6, ult the lane you want to kill first, farm up until you get 6 again, do it again, and in between, snack a dragon and a herald. Very basic farming jungler methodology, nothing weird, nothing too ridiculous. However, as you know, you can also take a lot of his strong lethal tempo fighting power into the enemy jungle. You can take on a lot of junglers, learn your power spikes. When I have Iron Spike Whip, when I have Strikebreaker, who can I fight, understand which champions require certain openings, and which ones you can just eviscerate from level 4. This is the champion with the semi-global ultimate and split push ability that also has teamfight ability, and the most CC in the game because apparently his ult counts as the Shadow of Mordor. Simple, effective, with a spell shield, go get it. Now while Lilia might seem a bit more complicated, she isn't. She used to be a lot harder, then they changed her around, gave her a heal that's ridiculous, and she still has those movement speed stacks, even reduced, still strong. She has a slow, she has a lot of percentage max HP damage, she's a huge ultimate, and guess what? Use a strategy of the Nocturne and use it well. Yes, she has the ability to fight and skirmish many junglers. You're not looking to run into the jungle and invade, control your clears, counter jungle. Good ganking angles are important because you need to get your stacks going, but you can also chuck a swirl seed, that E, that bowling ball, down the lane. All it takes is one down the lane, hit somebody, got your ultimate, use it. And of course later on, right, that is a free pick material. You throw that E out, it hits someone that's a crucial target, you press R and you can gap close it, that's a dead person. The damage, the sustain, the Rod of Ages build, you cannot be killed, you can outkite everybody, you scale super duper well, and no one in low elo is going to punish you. Even later on, all the way up to Diamond, they won't punish you. And when you want to get to Master Plus, you punish them. So if you wanted to get Gold, those are the champions of choice, and now if you want to get Diamond and you happen to be Gold, Platinum, and Emerald, this is what you use. First up, we have the Bel'Veth. Yes, her rating has gone back up since they kind of offset some of those nerfs, but the raw jungle knowledge you don't have in low elo that you do start to have in Gold and Platinum, as I talk about in all my jungle courses, getting in the enemy's face and removing them from the game. But it's not just that, it's about getting good at understanding what you want to accomplish as a jungler and understanding how to bring that forth while preventing the enemy from getting theirs. This is the mastery level of skill from Gold all the way up to Emerald, and Bel'Veth is the queen of this. Yes, high pressure invades and sort of quadrant ganking into taking control over games, making sure you get heralds, the champion that snowballs really well, but if she's behind doesn't really do much. There are downsides, which is why we tell you to go for things like Kraken, Strikebreaker, Black Cleaver. Kraken allows you to amp up your farm early, so if you don't have those openings to snowball through kills and invades, you can at least farm it up. And guess what? With Kraken, you can also farm champions and their camps and heralds. Strikebreaker and Black Cleaver are broken, they give you the HP, the stickiness, the shred, not that you need more of those things. Basically, simply get used to playing at a bit higher pressure pace. Understand that your job is not just to play for yourself and your lanes, it's also to take away the enemy jungler, and in doing so, all of those things result in you playing for yourself as the ultimate split push, team fighting, resetting dominatrix of the jungle. Which is not how I would classify Hecarim, although he is ridiculously easy. I'm pretty sure I saw someone drool the other day and a Hecarim got a pentakill. Really is that easy. Where people struggle is that they should be going your face rush, lethality, Shojin builds, but again, that makes you squishy. It's not that the buttons are difficult to press on the Hecarim, they're really easy. It's that playing as an assassin is more difficult, so if you miss position, you die. This is the same for everyone in the class and why assassins are more skillful. Of this more skillful version of the Hecarim builds, which of course I love, I make videos about them, I love watching great players regardless of what champions they play, then you do have the ability of going your Shojin Strikebreaker builds, or obviously you can go the Divine Sunder Manamoon Black Cleaver build, but I only really recommend that for high elo. And so I don't really have it listed here because it doesn't have the same power curve and you're all looking to climb pretty damn quickly. Yes, we want to get the LP and the best way to get the LP is to be direct, forceful, get yourself ahead, rotate the things you need to rotate to, use Shojin Spike, use Lethality Spike, and just end games. Worst case, go Strikebreaker and same kind of thing, you're just unkillable as well. Just depending on the build you play, whether it's more squishy or more fightery, it all comes down to your entry points into fights and which suits which build better. Some allows you to run around and stay in the same fight for ages, others allow you to go in and out for all time. Pick your choice, you can't go wrong, there's 6 legs, go ahead and stick them wherever you want to. Then of course we have the legendary Kha'Zix, the best assassin in the game over the last half a decade, really is always in the tier list, always does well, always finds a way to have certain evolved parts and itemization combos that just work. Yes, we have the Agura and Bruiser build, but honestly besides him, please no one run this. You don't position properly, you might as well just play Hecarim. You want Diamond quickly? Take some of that Bel'Veth playstyle and Hecarim playstyle and fuse them together. Become an adaptive beast. Know that you have patience for fights and when to go in. Know that you can full clear and play it a little safe if you want to. Know that you can play it a little bit aggressive and just get your items and run over people even if you died a little bit. That's because the Yumu's, Edge of Knights, and Prowler's Claw builds are just absolutely ridiculously strong. Very little way you can go wrong in terms of once you have them, your damage is there. How is your positioning? How is your target selection? Master those, master the mid-elos, master getting to diamond pretty quickly, because no one's gonna peel you properly. And yes, the affordability and effectiveness of Umbral Glaive cannot be denied, but I really don't think you need this. Your vision control is great for your eyeballs and your scanner, and the Ghostblade utility and extra stats just cannot be beat at getting that first item. Hey, congratulations, you have finally escaped the mid-MMRs of Gold, Platinum, and Emerald, and you are Diamond, but now you need to climb this and get to Master Tier. First up, we have Graves, and while you can use Graves in your mid-MMRs, I think it's easier just to pick him up in Diamond, and this is mostly because the champion requires, if you want to be good at it, a real plug-and-play of your knowledge. You know what tempo is, you know what map control is, you know how to out-PvP people, and you understand how to jungle deny the enemy junglers who keep doing stupid things. Yes, he 100% does work in lower MMRs, but it takes a lot more time to apply him, and that's why we're only keeping him here. As such, the build you are going to go, my friends, is going to be the Serrated Dirk Noon Quiver Rush. If you're fighting a lot more, Serrated Dirk. If you're farming more, Noon Quiver. You're going to finish that Serrated Dirk going to Ghostblade Collector. Finish off the Storm Razor, and you can finish off with Lord Doms, Black Clavers, Bloodthirsters, whatever the hell you want. If you don't like the Storm Razor build, feel free to just replace it with a Black Claver, but I really like that 3-item spike as the best and most disgusting combo on a champion currently outside of the fighter itemization. Obviously, Shojin, Gore, and Strikebreaker take the cream, but this Graves build really creams everything else. Nothing beats him in damage, DPS, map control, split push, fighting, objective. It's really, if you can use this to get ahead, I'm at a loss for words for the power you have. If you don't get Master Tier with it, your jungling is not that good, or your Graves really sucks. Sorry to say it, but that's the truth. And on that note, if we make things a little more difficult, yes, Lee Sin. Fantastic champion at the moment. Gore Drinker is absolutely busted with him. Keep it simple with your Black Clavers and Death Stones as well. And isn't it incredible how rarely we see strong Lee Sin junglers? That's because he's one of the most difficult champions to play in the game. And while again I said plug and play, didn't I? We're putting Lee Sin here for Diamond Plus because we trust you have the game sense and mechanics to get to grips with at least enough of him to win games. You don't need to be Insect, you don't need to be Owner, you just need to be something that can play Lee Sin to a high clip, reasonable for Diamond, apply jungle pressure, use broken itemization, know when to kick, peel, engage, and flash whatever the hell you want to do. You don't always need to look pretty on Lee Sin to be effective, and to get to Master Tier, it should be enough for you. But do understand, it might take you a few games. However, I reckon if you're willing to get Master Tier, you can just plug and play Lee Sin for a few days, because you're going to put in a lot of game volume between now and January, so invest maybe a day or two on the Lee Sin mechanics, but shouldn't take you longer if you're a already good player. Again, be honest with yourself here. And if you are not being honest with yourself or are being honest with yourself, we could talk about putting in Evelyn here. I definitely think she has credence, but I don't really feel like she fits into the meta as well for a, hey guys, play this and climb. I do think though, again, if you understand high jungle pressure as a diamond jungler, and you want those fast wins without having to think too much about the buttons you're pressing, Kindred. Kindred rewards the jungle knowledge. Yes, there's a lot to know about in and outs, damage taking, ultimate usage, damage dishing, but at the end of the day, it's all about how you apply your own tempo mastery. It's also important because community perception is really vital when you think about who is strong and who isn't, and Kindred's win rate data is going up and up and up, and I'm seeing a lot of high elo junglers pick it up with not having too many counters, and again, a good Kindred isn't countered by anything. Range component, strong invades, strong clears, strong scaling, strong snowballing, strong game-changing ultimate. Really, the kit is always there for you, and the items are still great. Kraken Trinity Black Cleaver, I know a lot of you don't like it, but play what's effective for now. Use your high tempo knowledge, use your jungle pathing success rate that you have, and when your Heckrams and your Nocturnes are just not providing the same juice you need in order to get to Master Tier. Again, you can, 100%, but some players just want that extra juice to be able to carry themselves. Kindred is the way to go. But there is, my friends, an ultimate king of all the junglers in this video, of the singular entity, the singular jungler that's good at everything necessary in the end of Season 30 meta. Viego is the one you play. Are you losing and having a rough time? Play Viego, catch it with a Noon Quiver Kraken itemization, get 1 or 2 resets, and boom, off you go. Having a good old-fashioned lead, enjoy your 18-minute, 19-minute, 20-minute win. Are you struggling with laners inting and you can't always rotate because Heckram's kinda obvious? Take Viego. If people don't click on the minimap, they won't see you. Show up with your E, flash W, people gonna die. I've been mightily impressed with how many Viegos I'm seeing in high elo. I've been mightily impressed with how many Viegos are climbing in wherever MMR they're playing. The reason I put him for a Master Plus pick is because if you you are in high elo, simply play this champion against anything you're gonna face and you will be fine. He's almost just too good at everything at the moment, and obviously is also abusing the same build as Kindred. The resets, the mobility, the shiftiness, the quickness with how he farms due to new Quiver Kraken builds. Honestly, if you are looking for a total package, the best all-round jungler at the moment, in my opinion, it is 100% the Virkayu. Provides so much for so little, and even though you need to get used to him initially, overall it's a pretty damn simple champion, and the benefit is you get to become whatever else is in the game. You have a Hecarim against you, become the Hecarim. You have a strong meta champion against you, become them by killing them. He really rewards those quadrant understandings, those invades, the full clears. Again, adaptability was important when making this list. Can these junglers do a lot of things to win? Yes. Can they fit a lot of your different jungle styles? Yes. Can anyone who's skillful enough in these ranks use these champions to climb to their peak before the end of season 13 in 5 weeks? Hell yeah. Click the video in the box on the top right to learn how to 1v9 on whatever jungler you pick, but obviously Virkayu is the main point.